Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of AC Saturday, where I sit down and talk about anime or comics. Continuing along through Invincible, I've read issues 14, 15, and 16 this week, and there's also a little short snippet from what was it? Image Comics Summer Special. Presumably, there were a handful of short bits from Invincible and other Image Comics. I think I saw Spawn on the cover of that one. So they get basically like a fourth of an issue. So 3 1/4 issues talking about this time. And rather than kind of focus on like beat by beat, here's what happened in these issues, I just kind of want to talk about why these sets of issues made me realize like why I don't typically sit and read like comics in the norm, especially in the way where they come out, month over month. In the same way that when like a Telltale game comes out or Life is Strange comes out, I typically wait until all of them are out to play the whole thing, because I'm not going to have the patience to hit a cliffhanger ending and then have to wait and figure out what happens for a month. And that's definitely what happened in these issues. There was nothing, like none of the issues really ended on like a big enough cliffhanger that I probably would have been distraught about having to wait for a month. But it was still like, oh, the issue ended there. I want to just move on to the next one. I don't want to have to wait another month. And so reading through it in like the compendium form, I'm significantly preferring that over having to have read Invincible over the course of like the last 15 years, as it's been running out. I'm appreciative that I can just kind of run through the whole thing. I've got this one, I've got the Compendium 2, I've got the Compendium 3, which will be the final one on order, and even that doesn't come out until July, so I'm a little worried I will, at the pace I'm going, I will like run through all of the existing issues, and then I will still have to wait a while for like the third of Invincible. So that's kind of what I wanted to just tackle today. In the issues themselves, you have a lot of Mark trying to readjust and get back to like his normal life. That's kind of the overarching theme, I think, of the 3 episodes in particular, or 3 issues in particular. There's kind of a running through line of him and Amber where he just kind of keeps her distant throughout, and then finally in issue 16 he kind of like she confronts him and says like, what's going on, like why don't you talk to me anymore, what's the deal? And he basically says, well, with everything that's happened with my dad, I don't want to be with you, because when I'm with you, when I'm happy, and I feel like I don't deserve that. I feel like I shouldn't be happy right now. And so it's a very like touching little kind of reality, dealing with the loss of a loved one. You're gonna kind of face down that kind of little bit of post-traumatic stress, little bit, just depression from suffering a loss like that. And so the idea of not wanting to feel happy because you don't feel like you should definitely resonated, and like that hit me, and I was like, oh, that's a good bit of writing and character work. So that's the little standout thing. On the Guardians of the Globe front, they're still not performing up to Cecil's kind of wishes, and so he fires Robot as the leader and reinstates the Immortal as the leader of the Guardians of the Globe. He also brings in a new guy, Bulletproof, who is super fast and also almost invulnerable, like Omni-Man was. And for whatever reason, Robot didn't give him originally a place on the team, but Cecil comes in and says he's going to be on the team. That leads to funny little stuff where Monster Girl kind of flirts with him, and then gets chastised for flirting with him because of her appearance. She kind of fights back. I'm 29. It's not my fault that these powers have started aging me in reverse, making me look like this. I'm a 29-year-old woman. I have needs and desires, and screw you for trying to impose against that. And interesting, interesting little dynamics of the superhero life. You also have Invincible's mom kind of confiding in Nolan's publisher, who happens to also be married to a superhero, when she sees that, she says, here's the thing, Nolan was Omni-Man, he left, he's not dead, he's not gone, he just left, and everything that you've seen in the news is true, and she basically breaks all this down for her because she needs to get it out, she needs to get it off her chest, she needs to talk to somebody who can maybe relate to being married to a superhero and the trials and tribulations of that. So interesting kind of developments there, I guess. So yeah, that's what's going on in these issues. But yeah, the bigger point was hitting these, and none of them like themselves were standalone that would have like made me go, oh, I'm glad I read that. Now let's wait for the next month's issue. I was glad that like I was able to continue on in the storyline without having to wait on these issues. So let me know what you think about Invincible in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.